His name many people do not know, but he is the real definition of wealth in silence, hidden wealth. He owns a company by the name Jofana Water Limited. He is a major person in the construction of many roads in our nation. He is involved in civil engineering, and he owns many buildings, many hotels in this nation. He as well owns ships in Cameroon, and he does a lot of imports, exports. He does a lot of construction. He does a lot of exports, and he does a lot of international dealings as far as business is concerned, as far as civil engineering is concerned. He has a host of people working with him, and unaware to us, he is with us, he fellowships with us, but this wealth in silence has decided to come here today and talk to us. So can we put our hands together? Can we put our hands together? Joe, Apanewun. Please don't welcome him. You are welcome. I want to shout. Can you pick up the way you want to walk in the back? Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. We are happy to have you. I think we'll sit after you. You may sit. We will sit after you. When you try to sit, we will sit. We are happy to have you. Your children are here, and they are eager to hear and learn from you. You're welcome. Alright, so I believe that most of us have had the privilege or have seen him somewhere around church. How many of us have never seen him? They have never seen him. Let me see your hand. Wow. But some of us have had the privilege to see him around, and Daddy Joe is a very quiet person, but does a lot as far as this country's development is concerned. He may be sitting very quiet as he is, but he is well in silence, like I said. So I want you to be very keen. Bring out your notebooks. If you desire to have money like you all accepted, please bring out the notebooks and take down the lessons. So I will give the floor to my brother Derek to proceed with this session. And if you have questions alongside, note them and we'll get them thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. So, good afternoon once again, dear youth. This is an inspiring session. So, we're learning about financial stability, the multiplication mindset, turning what you have into more. So, we're learning a lot of important principles of growth, financial wisdom, entrepreneurship, and how to maximize the opportunities and resources God has given us. This session is meant to encourage us to think beyond limitations and understand that small beginnings can lead to great success when handled with wisdom, discipline, and faith. So like my sister already introduced, we are having someone with us. I don't need to introduce him again. You already, my sister already did a good job. So then we are honored to have you in our midst. So I'll go straight to our agenda of today. We would like you to tell us your story. Yes, about yourself. How you became who you are today. Would like us to share with us that story. We believe it's going to be inspiring. Yeah.
Thank you very much for inviting me to come in and see you us to understand my story, how I began, to be what I am today. Yes, Brother, I would like to ask a few questions before I go ahead. I'd like to say, no, not ask people. I'd like to say those pupils who are still in primary school, class 61 upward. As you stand up, let me see them. Any? Okay, those, if they are not those from secondary school. Secondary school. And those university upward. Okay, that's good. Congratulations. Yes, you asked about my story.
Yes, sir.
Where I asked this question to know whom I'm talking to.
Okay, sir.
It is very good for me because I have a belief. And then those of you listening to me will listen very keenly and to know how I start before I be what I am today. My name is Apanewun Joseph. I come from the small locality of Apanewun in the Santa subdivision, Mesa Northwest region, Cameroon. I was baptized I was born 1952, 1st January 1952, in my village Apanewun. I started my primary school life 1963 in Apanewun, in our local church, the main church in Apanewun, main Baptist church, main then Apanewun. My mother and my father name is Chimamwe. He doesn't have English name, of course, in those days. And my mother, sorry, is late. Mama Monica Mopongwa. He was a very strong Christian, Baptist Christian. When I grew up, I just did her, join her, attend service when I started to know God. I entered primary school in 1963, and I was baptized by Pastor Joseph Ayabo in the main church, Baptist Church, Apanewun. As I told you, I entered primary school in 1963. I was baptized in 1964. Okay. So I went out, it was in class 1, class 2, they would jump up to class 3, up to class 7, when I finished my primary school 1968. The same village I went. My students go like this to my primary school life. As a business, thinking about business is to see how you can work and gain. In my young age, my first business I started from going to school. Before I left in the morning to go to school, we have a stream, a running stream about 500 meters from the compound. Every morning I must be sure that I reach the stream, I gather sand. In those days we call head pan. We measure by head pan. Head pan is the pan used to warm water and water. They call that head pan. So we do our measuring in the head pan. So every morning I will carry two trips of head pan sand and pour in the veranda, my mother's veranda. 2 trips is 10 francs, 1 head pan. That I do that every day. With this money, my grandfather buy the stamp every week and Saturday, and he buy a 10 francs. That encouraged me to work every day to be sure that every day I have 20 francs. 20 francs at the end of the week, 20 times 5 is much money for me. I continue to do that when I became mature, class 3, class 4, I started to go to Santa to sell beans. When my mother came back, we gathered beans for sale. I will carry the beans. Saturday, I will carry it to Santa and sell and bring the money to my mother. If I don't go to Santa, I will go to Bamina. In Bamina, I never know center town Bamina. I will end at pump station where we have the line. We stand on the line to say the white stuff, white middle. I buy at 70 francs. I reach Mandanwe, that's Bamina pump station. I will sell it for either 80 francs or 90 francs. If I sell it, happy to get more debt is 100 francs. And the same time, sometime I go, the market is bad, I will come back with a calabash on my head again on sale. I will give it to the man I buy from him in the village. We continue meet and sell till the next Saturday. I will take it back again to sell. That is not all. The other one, sometimes when I come back to school, I run to the farm. Sometimes my mother has about 4 farms because in the village away, we had some area that is made for farming. So the villagers, they have 2 farms, some they have 3 farms, some they have 5 or more as you have your farm. So all the farms of my mother, I know them all. So when I come back from school, when I drop my books, I rush to the farm to help my mother. Well, before I reach, my mother has done this yams, this long yams that it has some bitterness, which were very sweet. When I reach there, I'm happy. My mother has already done some waiting for me. I will eat and drink water. I will be very happy. I will let my mom come back. Every day, I have to know all the facts. We were 5 in the family. My elder sister, before I started going to school, my elder sister was married. The other one that I followed him died. Sorry. My junior one behind me, they never go to school. It is only me that I go to school by hard struggle because my father has nothing. If somebody is sick in the family, my father will only borrow money. There are people that borrow money and then during that's rainy season, dry season when they harvest coffee, we will say when they harvest all the coffee, we grind the coffee, we dry them. The coffee will not dry. But debtors will come to collect. They are fighting to collect because everybody is afraid that a collaborator will collect it and they will see carry forward the debt next time. So I was learning that I feel not easy. My life, my father suffering like that. My father is not working apart from the coffee farm. Sometimes he leave very early in the morning, clear it. Sometimes myself, I come back to school, I help to clear. And then I used to take contracts. That means my neighbor around, I take contract to clear a big farm, round the whole compound, somebody's compound, for 150 francs. And I will do it happily for 2 weeks. When I do it, I am very happy and very contented. So I continue like that. The time when sometimes I will be very stressful, but as I go to church, and then how they teach me how you learn, how you obey your mother and your father as you learn in church, so that your days will be long. I hope that give you a good spirit to continue to work hard. The time when I reached class 7, before I reached class 7, I never wear even 2 row slippers. I remember the day we went to Santa to take Cosmo Living exam. I went like that, empty foot, but I saw children, they wear campers, they wear all this. But I'm happy, so far as I was neat, I washed my uniform clean. Well, I'm happy too. I forget to tell you that every time, I think that 3 times was the whole my school period that I changed the uniform. I'm the one that got a uniform. When it dirty, I wash, I dry by the fireside. I wait it, you see smoke coming out of the way, I'm happy running to school. Those are the good stories about the primary school. Then when we write the exam Santa that Friday, we came back. As we came back in the morning of Monday, I'm the one standing in front of the class, we're doing revision, to tell our story to our colleagues how far the exam was. So I am the person appreciating with a chalk, writing and explaining. So people were clapping that I will pass the credit with all the paper. But at the end, when they read the results, I failed. That's a epic story. But I did not mind. I continue. In my village, one Jehovah's Witness person who said medicine store. He invited me, among they select children that they are trained. They know business, they know management. He called me to come and send me his medicine stuff. And he paid me how much? 150 francs a month. All the 3 months that I was there in the village, the 3 months before I left the village, the 150 francs, he never gave it, but he accumulated for me. When he learned from me, discussing with my sister, I want to learn mechanic. He was very happily said, his junior brother is in Congo. They call Banzo. In Congo. That he is training children for mechanic work. So I was very, very happy to go, especially like my village man. That's my first time of going out of the village to go and stay. So we agreed with this man, my name was John Poncham. So the day we gathered, my mother prepared food, prepared stuff, and so on. We took me, we traveled by foot from the village in the morning. We reached Bamenda about 7 p.m. in the evening. Those of you, I think some of you here, let me know somebody, they know Bamenda, the central town of Bamenda, where you have the Congress Hall. That was where the motor park, the general motor park in Bamenda was. There was not any other motor park anywhere. All vehicles load from that central place, which now is the Congress Hall, CPDM Hall. They built CPDM Hall, I think, in 1982. But all park were there. But when we reached Bamenda about 7 p.m., we saw a car that would Land Rover going to Banso. We saw. That Mr. John said, this is one of the sons of my master, granted the person who then worked from Mr. Paul, my master, the master which I'm going to be. I was very happy to introduce me. So we joined the Land Rover longboat that that time they built it with long cargo. We reached Banso at 3 a.m. When I come out of the car, it's night, there, dark. I don't even know myself. I was just like, you know how the food came, the power they came down, and they just drop it in place. When I come out, it was just like that. Like, I do not know how many villages, how many towns I passed. It was in the morning that I discovered myself, I discovered the town. So I learned the word would enter, I learned the Apanewun. It was for 3 years. That is 1968. When I finished my primary school, I made another 3 months in the village for 150 francs per month for 3 months. So this brother of my master, I went and did, added 150 francs to the 450, making 600, which we use it to pay the transport for both of us to reach Banso. So I began to learn when we discussed with my master. He explained that this guy is coming to learn mechanic and driving. We agreed on 40,000 francs, which I didn't have a franc on me. I started learning mechanic work with happiness. That's my first time of reaching out. We were like a child in Cameroon and going to Europe. When you land there, is super happy. So the first year of my story of learning the mechanic, I gathered when I work hard, obey, learning hard. When somebody comes with a car, I run in under to check whether there is a bolt that loosen and tighten it up. When I come out, the man will charge me 10 francs, 20 francs. I'm very happy. I keep it for about a week. When the money reaches 100 francs, first time we have 100 francs note paper. I will change it to 100 francs paper and keep. On Sunday after church, I will visit the Banso Public Hospital. When I visit there, I will see people from my village. I greet them, we talk, I know when they come and when some of them are going back home. I will go and gather this money. Sometimes I reach 500 francs, sometimes I reach 300 francs. Paper, put it inside the envelope, write a note, and put, and send it to give to my mother when I come. By then, we don't have telephone. Even not talk about mobile phone now. So when they reach home, we give to my mother will look at it. What will my mother do? They will take the look somebody can read. Take it to the farm, because you will not read it in the house. But in the house, it's afraid that somebody will look at it. Even my father will say, hey, the king don't believe communicate only with him, I forget him. So when I will read and discover 200 from 300 from 500 or 1 month, we'll take it, Indian bamboo. We used to carve, put soil, some soil, and hide it inside. So Ma will put it inside the Indian bamboo, that's the container, and climb and hide it inside the ceiling. The grass house, you take the grass and hide it inside. When enter the ceiling, we call the ceiling, who is from away? So they call that when you used to try corn. When you pass it, you see the grass, they hide inside. So during December, my master will say, you children should go home and bring advances for your job. You that is not give advance for your fees for your training. So I will let arrange home. When I arrange home, it's a very big dinner. People don't come back. Family will come and gather and drink. After the war, Ma will clear on the ceiling and drag the Indian bamboo. We'll come and throw everything on the ground. For that first time, we counted, it come out 12,000 something. Forget the odd from was 12,000 something. Mama was very clever. Ma would call his junior brother to come and see me. When he come, he moved 10,000 from the 12,000 and gave to junior brother to give to my father to pay advance of my fee. Because Ma was afraid that if he territories from me, my father would say, you don't give up money, they look like your money. So Ma was very intelligent to do that exercise that way. So the junior brother will take this money and will come down, call that's my mother house. We leave me and my mother, we come down for 5 hours. We will sit down with him, we say, "Pa, this is what I've done. We have Apanewun, that's my name, for his training. You know that I don't have anything. So my pa will be very happy. And they will say the same, he will go and call this John for Jam, this brother of my master, and he will come to hand the money to him. That this the money his in-law has given to her for the training of Apanewun. So when we go back, Mama will prepare food and so on, and go back with Mr. John, that elder brother. We'll go, we'll sit down, we'll make a dinner in Banso, make agreement. You know, to make agreement is a very big party. That is the advance out of the 2,000 francs, 10,000 for my name. So I'll continue the same now at the learn work to complete another 1 year. I developed the idea to keep partners. When the dad gave 100 francs, 200 francs that time, money is very becoming high. I will buy 2 sets partner, buy this and make a plan box. And then with lock, and they put the spanners. So when the vehicle rolled to the garage, first thing, I look at the man and say, Joe, go and check under one to wear something and those. I'll go and check, carry, finish. When I finish, sometimes I'll go and beg my master that he don't have money. But he dashed me 200 francs, or he dashed me 500 francs. But when I finish work, I tell my master to give me what they have shown me to do. And then the man will pay for it. And they will give me 100 francs or 200 francs, dash me. I will be very happy. I will take that one, continue buy stand, and act my daughter. Then when I was going home again for the second year, my father had discussed with one of our quarter heads. I know it's the quarter head in the village. It's about almost 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers from our home. He borrowed 20,000 francs to pay coffee, 5 bags of coffee during the dry season. I know the value of coffee. To take 20,000 francs and supply 5 bags of coffee, which can be 40,000 francs or 50,000 francs. But look at the amount the bank took to pay for my fees. So that makes 30,000. When I was going back, I gave that money, sent to my the elder brother of my master, Mr. John, who went and gave to my master. So I continued work for the number 3 years. When I worked the 3 years and the 3 year reached, I started to discuss with my sister back home. Say, that is what I want to do. I want to beg my master so that he should allow me to go and complete the rest 10,000 francs. My master will say, next month, when the next month comes, I will dress nearer my master when I know the time is happening. I will discuss with him, that you know that you promised me next month. I come to know which time I will go. We say next month again. I will not be angry. I will continue. The time that he is happy, I will come near him. But you say I will go the way. He say, okay, you will go next week. After 1 week, I said, but when you think I will let you say, okay, come go next Sunday. So when the Sunday reach, I will go. I see one of my customers who has a house not far from me, just from the motor park, just almost 500 meters from the motor park. 500 meters from the motor park. I made a plan. He gave me one sleeping room and a small parlor at 1,000 francs a month. And it is a guy who looked for me for his neighbor who has some few coffee stands around the block. We discussed on 1,500 francs for that block to remove those coffee store and then I pay 1,500 a month. I was very happy. That means I had to pay out for 1,000 and then I pay the garage for 1,500. So I start my life. I will run to the park as I know far. I see most of the customers. I said, customer, I am free now. I have my own garage. Can you visit my garage? At the same time I'm talking, so they say, let's go and say, enter the car. The Land Rover, go Barata, walking Land Rover, and Peugeot. When I started work, I started work with Land Rover and Austin. Who have never seen Austin there? There was a truck Austin called Austin. They used to build with land to carry passengers. So that you want to carry out, they continue with Land Rover. Land Rover come out, and then after Land Rover, have Peugeot. So when the customer, I introduce him to the garage, the customer will connect other customers. Joe, Mr. Joe, get some garage. The garage is really full. They work very hard. So every day my garage continues to add. Sometimes I have children in the garage, over 40 apprentices learning mechanic and driving from me. Many of them, when I do this, I will do agreement, what they call agreement. It's the same amount that I pay for 40,000 francs for the training. So they come for 4 years or 3 years. When we are doing the agreement is some for 10,000, bring 10,000 francs. But you see, the day we always set the time for agreement, to sign agreement for a child from 4 o'clock, down to any time in the night. Because agreement, the family come, plus extended family, the whole house, the whole veranda like this is full. They will prepare a small agreement, they sign. They will bring a lot of food, a lot of chicken, after that whiskey, and so on. When they prepare food, that the elders apprentice, they prepare that they prepare food where they drink. Some they cook food, they drink, some they cook. They make a very big dinner for the party. We sign an agreement today. The most important thing of the agreement is advice. I will give advice to the children how they have to behave, how to work hard to achieve, so that tomorrow will be like me, they open their own garages. And then the parents too, they will give advice and so on. So we'll take one whole living from 4 o'clock, sometime at 12 midnight, they are living in my house. Another important thing is this. Before they are closing, I look through what they brought. I will find the chicken, 1 or 2. I kill it with 1 whiskey. In the morning, 7 a.m. to 8, I carry it to my master. I go and give to my master that tell me what. I did that one for 4 years, 4 good years before I stopped. And my career was increasing, children were increasing. My master.
What is it? Just 1 minute. Like, your story is very interesting. Like, I can listen and listen and listen. Because I was working on that. I would like to just summarize until we have today.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. That's the beginning. I have a long story. You can stay here for 1 minute. The story is for you. I'm very interested and interested. Yeah. Just briefly, my master, I take care of my master because he don't work, he's old and he don't work again. I give him food, I have 2 women. Sometimes I give them food, I give them money. But one day, we work at the government, we work and close Saturday in the afternoon, in those days. One day, Saturday, I was going to Jakiri to follow my bills, government bills. When in the morning when I was taking breakfast, they called me. The child came and called me that the bar is sick, they carry him to the hospital at night. My master. I rushed there, I saw bar with the cops. They give him cup to bring blood and to bring urine so that they test it. The bar was feeling like stomach flight. But I said, okay, let me reach Jakiri, I'm coming. He said, you don't have advanced. I went, I remember, 17,000 francs I paid for OPD for advanced for fever hospital. Then I rushed to Jakiri, coming back about 3 o'clock. They told me in the square, that's why it's too small. They say, hey, they saw me with my hand over. They break me, I started to say, your master is dead. I said, what happened? They say he's dead. I rushed to the hospital. Came out, people are crying. I entered where they kept me. I thought she was still hot like this. And that was the end of my master. I rushed to find this thing to prepare comfort and so on. Before the morning, the next day we brought him to bury him. And then before I reached Kumbo, I hired buses for people, the good way, they follow the bus. We reached village, we buried him, we came back, we keep that about 3 months. The time that I hired motor, carry people who go and do the funeral. That's the story of my master. Some of the children I see everything up to today. But working on myself as a mechanic, I buy spare parts. I know the cost of spare parts. I have a big garage in Kumbu beside the water. Because the garage I was working, people, when they need it, which are mechanic, they understand that I'm working hard. They thought that is the site that is bringing me work. So they will use all and all to push me away so that they come and work the place. I will change and go to the next garage. I will start to have the same customer the same. They will still push me out. The next time I got a place near the near the water. I'm coming back to the lake to open the water. My garage was now near the water, the street that you pass before you off the motor park. This is running downstream. How do I get the garage? I was near the garage. I was near the water, but different objects. But as I was walking back, most of the time I see my neighbor, the old father. I was very good with them. What I have to know.